Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I'm thrilled that you're here. And today, I want to ask you an important question when it comes to your manifesting. Are you changing? So there's a Neville Goddard quote that says, "There's no one to change but self." And that's really true. I mean, in this process of manifesting, I talk about how manifesting is about where your focus is in your internal world. And that's true. And that's going to outpicture in your external world. But we're often very focused on the external world because that is really what we want to change. And that 100% makes sense. And that's also where we've been trained to put our focus, right? That's where we learned what we know in our life. That's how we interact with people. That's how we interact with our 3D world. That's what we're here to do, is to experience this world, this sort of very physical world of things and experiences and physicality. And I'm not coming up with a really good way of saying that, but you know what I mean. That's why we're here. And when we come to manifesting, it's very often why we come to manifesting. We want things in our 3D world to change and be different than they currently are. We want our specific person. We want more financial freedom. We want a different job. We want a job. We want a beautiful house or a car or whatever it is. We want to, lose weight or look different, have our appearance be different. And those are all things that you are welcome and should want. And the knowledge that you want those things, that knowledge of that desire, is the very, very first step in manifesting. And we don't often really talk about that as the first step. I mean, I often talk about clarity of knowing what you want as being the first step, and kind of alongside that, in that same moment where you have clarity about what you want, you also know what you don't want. And that knowledge of what you don't want, what is not working out for you, when you're in lack, that knowledge is what wakes us up to the idea that we want something different. And so it seems like a paradox, right? Where there's no one to change but self, but what we want to change is the 3D world, is our specific person, is our bank account, is our boss, is our coworkers, is, whatever. So in that case, it seems a little bit strange, right? It seems like, no, but that's what I really want. And it's hard to let go internally and even externally. You're focused on the external world of those things because that's why you came to manifesting. You came to manifesting because you wanted something different. And that is okay. Look, we can accept that. We can accept that we want something different. But the process really is internal. The process really is internal, and you're going to have to be different internally inside of yourself for your manifestation to come to fruition, for it to outpicture in the 3D world. As within, so without. And it's really a process. So when we first come, it's hard to understand that. But the person you're trying to change is you. You're trying to change yourself, what you focus on, your way of being, your state of being, how you embody the world. Maybe your self-concept, but maybe not. And it's not to say that who you are right now is broken, because that is not true. You are not broken. You are worthy and loved and perfect, but you're going to have to put your awareness, your focus, in a different place to manifest something different. So if you're listening to this right now and you still haven't manifested whatever it is you're working on, and you know what, that's another thing. I just want to take a quick second to say this. There's going to always be something else to manifest. Whenever you get the thing that you want, you're going to want something else. And that's great. That's great news. It's always a learning process. So, but don't be swayed by the fact that once you change yourself and your focus and you do get whatever it is you're manifesting right now, you're just going to want something else. And it's just a process, a lifelong process of practicing this and learning where you to put your awareness and focus. And so that is really good news. So let's go back to what I was talking about. And that is, so you can kind of tell, like, are you the same internally? Are your thoughts the same internally? Are your feelings the same internally as they were yesterday or a week ago or 3 weeks ago or however long you've been working on manifesting a year ago? And if they are, then it's time to do something different to try to get it. And you're not even doing it to try to get a different result in the 3D reality, but although you will get a different result. That's the thing. Like, you really are changing your internal world to change your internal world. And that's kind of the end of it. But the good news is that your external world will change too. That'll change too. But the way you know that it's working, like that what you're working on is getting closer to what you want, is that your internal world is changing. You are feeling better. You are feeling more soothed. You are feeling more at ease. You are feeling more peace. And you don't have to feel those things. Those feelings aren't necessarily what you're going for, unless that is what you're manifesting, then definitely go for that. But they're byproducts of sort of moving through this process. And you don't have to, and when I'm saying that, you don't have to feel those things to manifest exactly what you want. You don't. But they're good things to feel. But you do have to be different. You do have to look at things at a different perspective. Your internal world does have to be different, because that is what's manifesting your external world. And so I really wanted to say that to you today. That is what you're working on. You're working on putting your internal focus, your internal world, getting it soothed, getting it your focus where you want it, so that manifests in your external world. And so with that, may you manifest exactly what you want.